Hey guys, how you going? I thought for today I would take you through my makeup inventory that I've done over the past few days. So I have also worked this in with my 20 in 2020 spreadsheet that I have set up. So just to give you a quick overview, I have my spreadsheet here with all of the products that I have, their weight that they are as of yesterday, or the start of my 20 in 20, so I'm filming this on the 2nd. I have set along monthly updates for this, and I have actually laid it out in a similar style to my complete makeup inventory table. So on this table, I know you probably can't see it really well, so I've got it laid out up the top with all of my base products, and then eyeshadows, blushes, contours, bronzers, highlighters, and lip products down the bottom. So with the eyeshadows, I have broken that up between single eyeshadows and then palettes, and then I have put a total amount of pans as well. So how many pans I have in all of my eyeshadow palettes together, as well as the singles, because they do have a pan in them. I have also done similar with my highlighters and my contours. So I do have a single contour, and then I do have a few contour palettes. With my bronzers, I don't actually have any bronzer palettes. I only have single bronzers. Same with blush as well. I only have single blushes, and I have separated for cream blush as well, because I do have one cream blush that's in a stick form. So with my highlighters, I have also done the same with the pans. So I have my single highlighters, my highlighter palettes, and also my liquid / loose highlighters. So because I do have a couple of liquid highlighters and I do have a loose highlighter in a jar, or it is kind of a jar, it's kind of an odd shaped jar though, not a real jar. I have separated those and haven't included those in the total pans that I have. So I have done a complete makeup inventory where I have gone through and listed every single item that I own. So every single primer, every single foundation, every single concealer, powder, setting spray, brows, everything. The part where it starts to get big is I do have a few eyeshadow palettes, not too many, including my single eyeshadows. I have, I think, 15 altogether. So I have 3 single eyeshadows and 12 palettes, including my most recent purchases, in which I broke my low buy from last year. The largest portion of my inventory is my lipsticks. So it starts here on the top of the 3rd page, all the way down the bottom, and halfway onto page 4 as well. So I do have copies of all of these online. Obviously, I'm running doing a running spreadsheet throughout the year to track my progress of everything. Throughout each month, I will update my 20 in 2020 challenge, as well as my standard makeup inventory. So I felt that would be really useful for when I'm completely using up products that aren't necessarily in my 20 in 2020, for things such as lip balms that I may use. I know I have one that's in the challenge, but if I do use any others, my mascara, which I haven't actually included in the 20 in 2020, any eyeshadows that I happen to pan or completely use. I think I will only be counting them if I completely use them up or declutter them. I know I have mentioned before that I hate decluttering because it's honestly just a waste of money, but I felt it would be really helpful to track how things are going. So with my no buy, I have mentioned in my previous video, so I'm just gonna adjust my chair. I will be doing a no buy for, I feel, at least 6 months. I'll check in halfway at the 3-month mark and see how I'm going. If there are other items that I do decide that they've gone bad because they're old, or I'm getting rid of them or passing them over to someone else who will like them just because I don't use them, they don't suit me. I do have a few lipsticks that aren't exactly they're not exactly a good match for me at the moment. So if I do find that, you know, I've only used them once or twice and I know someone who would absolutely love them, I may pass them along to them, in which in my makeup inventory spreadsheet I will count that as one less lipstick. If at the end of the 6-month mark of the no buy I do decide that I would just prefer to go on a low buy, or if during the no buy I do have items that I need to replace, such as my mascara, which I've just remembered I didn't include in this, so I'll need to go back in and add that in. But if there are other items like the eyeliner, if I completely use up my eyeliner, which there is a fair amount left, I don't think I'll get through that in that time. But if there are other items like foundations that, you know, if I go through the 2 that are in my challenge, and then I have decided that once I have used this one, I will be replacing it because I've used it 3 times within the past couple of days and I love it. I pretty much only stopped using it so that I could use a few of the others that I do have in the drawer a little bit more, because they were getting a little bit older too. Once I go through a few items, if I do feel like with foundations, concealers, if they need to be replaced, I will be recording all of those on here. So any that I'm completely using up, I'll be recording. Any that I'm adding into here, I'll be recording as well. Obviously sticking to the rules of my no buy, pretty much replacements only. I will also be adding everything into my big spreadsheet here, which I have worked out as well. You're probably not going to be able to see it really well, how many items I have of each. So where there are duplicates, I don't think I have any on this front page. Oh yes, I do. So I have one foundation here where I have 2 of them, and I have their item amount here and the total value here. So I've been able to work out, you know, for that one foundation I have 2 of them, they're $4.99 each. The total amount for both of those is $9.98. I do have 2 of that one foundation because neither of them are a perfect match for my skin, but when I mix them together they are lovely. And if I want to contour or highlight with them, one's slightly darker than the other, so I just, you know, use less of the lighter one in the outer areas, use more of the lighter one in the center of my face. Pretty easy, and it's actually a really nice foundation to wear. I'd never even really heard of it, I just bought it because it was cheap, but I can go into that more later if you guys like or have further questions. So when I was going through the complete list and inventory of everything I own, I did also include all of the new products that I have bought lately, which I was going to pop in a separate video, but I mentioned in my last one that I was just going to include it today. So I'll pop into it before I go into it because I have included them in the inventory and all of the prices are in there as well. And that was actually kind of what made me want to work out how much each individual item was worth, because I wanted to know exactly how much I've been, you know, spending on all of this new makeup, and I honestly don't even know. Over the past few weeks I have bought all of these items that I'm about to show you. I put it all into the spreadsheet yesterday, but because I put so many numbers in there I can't remember their exact prices for each individual one. So the first item that I bought, I did buy online from Sephora. Actually no, this is the second one. I did a ColourPop order first, but the ColourPop stuff's at the bottom of the pile. So I didn't order with Sephora. I have a few skincare items in there that are already in the bathroom, but this was one that has been on my wish list for ages. I had asked for a Sephora voucher for Christmas. this item was $52 and it was reduced right before Christmas to $36. I thought, save $16. I wasn't going to be able to guarantee that after Christmas I would be able to find it or that it was still on sale, and it was something that I have wanted desperately for so long. So it is the what's it called? I don't know, it's not even written on here. So it's a set from Becca. Within this set, I know the lights are probably messing with this really bad at the moment. So we have a shimmering skin perfector in Champagne Pop, so that's the highlighter. We have the Ultimate Lipstick Love in Orchid, and what's this other one, the Backlit Priming Filter, which I have tested each of these out on the back of my hand, but I think they look so gorgeous in the box. There's glitter in the background. I'll take it out so you can see. So they're absolutely beautiful. I was a little disappointed with the lipstick. I thought it's going to be fantastic, it's going to be great, but it's so small. I thought in each of the photos that I had seen, it was wound down like this, so it made it seem like there was going to be a lot in there, but there is only a tiny amount. But I do still love the colour, and it will definitely be one of my favourite ones. I'm already trying to go through all of the other lipsticks I own and see if I have anything else that is a similar colour or the same. I do have quite a few nude lipsticks. I think I worked it out last night. I have about 16 nude lipsticks, and none of them are an exact match for that one, which I am definitely glad about. The Champagne Pop highlighter, which I'm fairly certain everyone has seen online at one stage or another, and the Backlight Priming Filter. So this one is really, really nice. It's actually gives you that glow. I'm not usually a glowy kind of person aside from highlight, but that's it. I think with this primer it will give that very definite glow underneath all over the skin. So if you're not a big fan of, you know, the glow all over, you might just want to pop that on the parts where you do want the glow. But the thing that I love the most, and I think this is what I will keep, is the little insert that came in the box. So you get the box, you get this inside of it, and then the products in front of it as well. And I think that that's just gorgeous, but I do love glitter. So I will pop that over there. The gift voucher that I did ask for Christmas, I have spent already as well. I probably should have saved that, but then I did see quite a few other things that I had been looking at online were on sale as well, and when I happened to go into the store I couldn't find any of them except for the Becca put a glow on it kit as well, which when I looked at it I'm like, oh, it's just going to be the same, you know, primer and you know, highlighters, that kind of thing. The highlighter is similar, but it is in the shade Moonstone, and I did try them next to each other and they are absolutely gorgeous. They are different though, which I think when I was in the Sephora store a couple of weeks ago, I swatched both and I did love both. There are also two other primers. So we have the Brighten and Blur Skin Love primer, which I popped a little bit of this on my back of my hand yesterday, and a drop covered almost my entire hand. So I know that that one will go a very long way, as well as the next one in terms of value for money. The next one we have is the First Light Priming Filter. So this one does have a bit of a lavender glow to it, which I think that's how they describe it on the website, as having a lavender glow. It's purple tinted, it's very sheer, but it does give that juicy look to the skin. I popped the rest of that, like I popped a single drop of that on the back of my hand yesterday as well, and same as the other one, it does go a long way, and it was absolutely beautiful. Like, it looked just shiny, but not highlighter shiny like the other primer is. So I'm glad I did get them. I was a bit worried that they would be too similar, that, you know, 3 primers, they're all going to do the same thing, but they don't. They are also very different. and I think I will definitely use all of them and love all of them once I have gone through the primers in my 20 in 2020 challenge, which I know I probably shouldn't have bought the packs because they had the primers in them, because I already have enough primers. Aside from the 2 that are in my challenge, I already have another 4 in my drawer as well. But with the value for the money, the Becca primers themselves, so the 2 big primers, those sizes you can buy from Sephora. They do sell them in the little 15ml size as well as the big one. The 15ml sizes for each are $32. So this kit that I bought had cost me $36. This size primer is $32 anyway. You know, pretty much for $1 each I got, oh no, $2 each I got the lipstick and the highlighter, which I'm really happy with. The other product which I mentioned earlier in this video, in my last video, was the Tarteist Pro To Go palette. I have been wanting this one for at least a year and a half. It's been on my wish list for that long. Every time I go into Sephora, I swatch it if I can find it. I'm always really disappointed when I can't, and I think, oh no, they've stopped selling it. And it disappears off the app as well. I can't find it anywhere. I'm like, great, that's it, I've missed it, and I get so disappointed, and I just think to myself constantly, I should have bought it. I should have bought it when I saw it. So I did. I paid $36. $36? Let me just double check, that doesn't sound right. $29. I paid $29 for this eyeshadow palette with 6 shades. $29. When I got home, I thought to myself, that's a lot. That's a lot for 6 shades. I have others in my drawer that I could probably use that are really similar. 2 that I have here that I know will probably have the same or similar shades. The Colourpop Give It To Me Straight and the Femrosa She palette. And I bought those palettes because I loved the neutral shades. I love the burgundy shades. And that's why I bought this. I haven't gone through it yet to see if they're an exact match or if there's anything similar, but that will be my travel palette. I don't really have any other travel friendly size palette aside from a few Revolution ones, but if I'm going traveling anywhere just for a couple of days, I don't need that many shadows. If I'm going traveling anywhere for a week or 2, I can take one of the Colourpop ones. So it will be handy, it will be used, it will be my special occasion makeup. But $29. The last item I got from Sephora was one of their lipsticks, and it was one that I had looked at a while ago, and I kind of decided against it, and I'll go into it as to why. So it's the Barbie Beauty Battle lipstick, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's nudie pink shade. I do love a nude shade. When I originally went to buy it a couple of months ago, there was another Barbie pink shade that I wanted, and I was going to get both of them, but that one, the Beauty Battle, was out of stock. So I didn't end up getting the other one either, because I found that there were another 2 that I liked from the Sephora collection as well. So one is Buzz Me number 20 and the other is number 19 Street Style. So Street Style was also on the list. I had 3 of them that I did want, but I did find that Buzz Me was a little bit more of my shade than the other Barbie one was. And I'm pretty sure the only reason I didn't get Beauty Battle was because it was out of stock. And I went there a couple of days ago to get, there was one, I think it was a cactus one, and there was another one They were both kind of nudie colours, but I still wasn't really sure about them because I do have a few that I think I had swatched in store last time I was in there with one I had in my handbag, and it was an exact match. So I know I've been rambling on for a long time, and I probably should have done a dedicated video for this, but that's okay. It's my video. The last items that I did have, I actually ordered first, and I ordered them about 2 weeks ago, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they finally arrived yesterday. Today, I can't remember. Anyway, I'm so happy that they arrived. 2 of them have been on my wish list for quite a while, and one of them keeps going out of stock before I can get it, and it is the Sophia Bury Me in lipstick. I have loved this colour ever since Sophia first made it, and when I opened the box I've seen this and I've held it up against my 2 other Colourpop lipsticks, and I thought, it's green, bluey green, something like that, and I absolutely love it. And it's one that I do have a couple of reds in my collection, but nothing like this. They're either bright red or nudie red, whereas this one is a berry red, and I do love that. The other one, which I don't think I've ever tried any of these before, is one of their Luxe liquid lipsticks in Flynn. So this is part of the Disney collection. There were quite a few of these that I did like, but when I was looking at the swatches and, you know, the pictures of the girls who are wearing them, I didn't feel that any of those would really suit my skin tone, or that they would be similar to one that I already have that is a little too pink, and that's the reason I don't tend to wear it a lot. The other item I had it has only just come out recently, and I am glad that I bought it. It has filled a little bit of a hole in my collection. Well, not my collection, I hate that word. It has filled a little bit of a hole that I felt that I did have. So I own the 2 Colourpop palettes that I mentioned earlier, so the Give It To Me Straight and the Femme Rosa She palette. I do also have the Disney Princess palette and a few of the Makeup Revolution palettes as well. I do also have the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, and that is only a recent addition to my palettes as well, which I have used it a few times. I do like it, but I felt that I needed a few more nude colours. So with the Jaclyn Hill Morphe, I have found that it is very red and brown, and you know, the few pops of colour in there, but there weren't necessarily any nude, like lights. There were a few light ones, but I need more than just 2. The 3rd lightest shade in that palette comes out on my skin like a yellowy mustard colour, so I needed light ones, and when I saw this I thought, that's perfect. I do love it. I wasn't really that interested to start with when I saw the pictures online, but seeing people's videos and seeing up close photos, you get to see the differences in the colours. Like, they're not all just light to dark nudes. There's really light ones, there's silvers, there's purpley ones, there are some browns, there's a couple of greeny goldy colours. It's absolutely beautiful. There's warm colours, there's cool colours. And when I was sitting down with all of these newer purchases last night, they were the last thing to be included in my inventory, because I had started working on the inventory a few days ago, and these last few newer things were only added in yesterday. When I bought the Tarte palette, I thought to myself, why have I done that? I've just bought the Colourpop palette. I don't need it. But I tried to have a look at them yesterday, and none of the shades are the same. There are a few that are fairly similar, but none that are the exact same. So I feel like they have added more to what I have, and I will get more use out of everything that I own now because I've added those things in. Because I've bought those 2 palettes, they make everything else that I have more usable. I have a lot of palettes like this, where they're all bright colors and dark colors and light colors. There's nothing really in the middle. So I know it is a lot, and when I worked it out, the Colourpop palette I don't feel too bad about. So with my Revolution palettes, just the standard 15 pan palettes, they cost on average $8. So that works out to be about 53 cents a pan. With the Colourpop other palettes that I have, so the Give It To Me Straight and the She palette, they work out to be $1.42 a pan. The Colourpop Bare Necessities palette works out to be $1.20 a pan. I'm okay with that because I know that I'm going to use every single one of those 30 shades. I know that I can create a lot of looks with those because I'm not a bright coloured person. I love my neutrals, my brown looks, my red looks. I'm happy with $1.20 a pan because I know that I will use it. With the Tarte palette, it was $29, 6 pans, works out to be $4.83 a pan. And that's why it's going to be my special occasion makeup, or my, travel makeup, or my, we're going out, it's a let's go create some memories. It'll be my special makeup. So I have added together all of the prices of everything that I own, including every single one of my lipsticks, every single one of my highlighters, every single foundation, primer, concealers, powders, everything all together. I own 375 items. That is including individual pans in eyeshadow. So that's not palettes, those are individual pans. So, wrong one. So I have 15 eyeshadow palettes and a total of 233 pans are those. So that's not too bad. That's really only 140 other items aside from that. And that's, I've got 40, 50, however many lip products. I'm happy with that. If I didn't include the individual pans, I'm okay with that number. I prefer not for it to not go any higher, because the other thing that kind of scared me was, aside from that number of items and number of pans, I have spent just under $2,000 on all of my makeup. That's for everything I own at the moment. I have done probably 2 clear outs last year of items that I don't use. So I'm a little bit concerned because I know that with a fair few of those items that I had thrown out, I'd barely used them. They were maybe lipsticks that weren't the right shade, lipsticks that I'd had for 10 years, which I've thrown a few of things out within the past couple of days because I did some online checking of manufacture dates to see when items were made, and I had about 3 lipsticks that were more than 8 years old. So a few of those have gone. I do still have one in my drawer that is about 4 years old, which I will be looking at using that as soon as I can. But that's a lot of money, like $2,000, as well as everything that I have thrown out within the last year or two. A lot of that makeup were individual eyeshadows that when I used to work for a makeup company, I had bought for $12 each. And I know that I threw out about 40 or 50 of them. So I'm like, it's $500 in eyeshadow that I just threw out because it was 10 years old and it was so old and I didn't use it. There was a long period where I went off of using makeup and my collection, well, I hate that word. Everything that I have just sat there and didn't get used, and I didn't have very much at all. And it's only been within the past probably 2 or 3 years since I've started watching YouTube a lot and watching all the makeup tutorials. I thought, yeah, I'll start watching this, you know, start using makeup more, you know, get back into feeling like my old self and do something nice, make myself feel pretty. That's when I've seen these videos. I'm like, you need to buy this, you have to buy this, it's great, you can't live without this, this is a must buy, this has to be on your list. And there was one thing that I always saw that I thought, it's not my thing, it's not my style, I don't think I'll ever need to own that. Yet this year I bought it. There are a few other things like the Tardis Pro to Go that this year I bought it. I'm late to the game. I'm always late to the game when it comes to buying makeup, and I know that now that I own them, I will love them. I do love the Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm wearing it at the moment, and I will love the Tarte palette because I've been wanting them for so long. The Jaclyn Hill I wasn't sure about. We've recently started to get Morphe in Mecca stores, in the Mecca store near me, and I just happened to be walking past one day, and when I saw it, I swatched a few of the shadows and I thought, it's so different. It's so different to the pictures that you see online. It's so different to the videos that you see. It's so different in person. And when I saw it in person, I thought, I love it. I love the colors. I can see myself doing things with it. And I wanted it for probably about 3 weeks after that, and then I just bought it. And that's where I'm finding myself in this habit of, I want something, so I bought it. And the difficulty that we have is that here in Australia, we can't get everything in our stores. There are a lot of things that until recently we had to buy online, and even now still with things like Colourpop, we have to buy it online. That you don't know what it's going to look like when you get it. And a lot of the things that I have removed from my drawers this year and thrown out, gotten rid of, decluttered, whatever you want to call it, I've only had for a few months or a few years, not even a few years, a few months or a year or so. And that I bought online and I thought it was going to be great, but when I look at it in person, it wasn't going to suit me, and it's not right. And I do still have 1 or 2 of those things here at the moment that I loved and I wanted for so long, and when I get it, it's so different in person. So that is why, or those are a lot of the reasons why I felt that this year I need to do an inventory. I needed to make myself accountable, be able to physically see how much I own, how many lipsticks and eyeshadows, and how many eyeshadow pans I own, because 233 pans of eyeshadow, that's enough. That's more than enough. I could probably do to get rid of a couple of those. I may not have all of the colors that I need, well, that I want. And there are still a lot of shades that I want. I think in all of those 233 pans, I have 2 blue colors and 3 greens. And that's it. All the rest are nudes and neutrals and a couple of oranges, few reds, couple of yellows. But yeah, I need to be more accountable. I will be updating this spreadsheet and my inventory every month. I'll also be keeping track of my 20 in, 2020 to see how I'm going with that as well. And I'll also be doing a No Lippies Left Behind challenge. So my low buy challenge at the end of last year, I feel I was fairly successful towards the end of the year when I just gave up. I thought it's the end of the year, I'm going to do a no buy. Next year I'll get these couple of things while I still have the chance to. And that's going to stop this year. I have enough. If you guys have any tips or any questions at all, please feel free to comment down below. I know this has been a really long video. I probably should have separated it into 2 or 3. If there's anything that you want to see, please let me know. I will be bringing you more information on my No Lippy Left Behind challenge as well, and I'll be doing updates on the 2020 and how my makeup inventory is going as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.